Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everyone's having a good day. Preston and I were looking through the $2 progressive slate for the Toronto-Cleveland game, and we thought that we really had an edge and wanted to have a show for this game. Are you excited about it, Preston?
Yeah. These two games we go to the away team in the series, the underdog. So should have a few fun games. We think Toronto bounces back here and plays this one a little closer than the first two games. So yeah, we really like this slate.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just dive right into this game. We got another one starting in about 2 minutes, but we'll focus on this one right now. And we got DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Love, Kyle Lowry, and Jonas Valanciunas for points. What do you like here?
Yeah, this one seems pretty close. Out of these four guys, each of them are pretty solid players. They each could score a good amount of points. But for me tonight, I really like DeMar DeRozan here. He hasn't had the best of games in the first two games in this series, but he's been playing well. He's arguably Toronto's best player, and he's been scoring the ball well. He hasn't done too much in other categories. Last game he didn't record a rebound and only had a few assists and no steals or blocks. But he's scoring the ball well. His shot attempts are over 20, and he's shooting 3 pointers, but he hasn't made one this series. So just looking at averages, he's bound to make at least one or two. And the free throws aren't even really up there, which he has been shooting a lot of free throws all year. And so we really like the both the 3 point attempts and the free throw attempts to go up. So I really like him here. Kevin Love had a breakout game last game, but he just really the whole playoffs hasn't been playing too well. So I don't know if if the 30 plus point game keeps up. I project him around 15 to 20. Whereas I think DeRozan can get over 20 pretty easily this game. And then Lowry, between DeRozan and Lowry for just strictly points, I'm looking at DeRozan for sure. And then Valanciunas, he really just is too. He has too high of a variance. He can get you plenty of rebounds, but I don't really like picking him for points over DeMar DeRozan tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I like the point that you brought up about DeRozan's field goal attempts. They're up like usual.
Yeah,
Yeah, again, he's shooting the same amount he was at Washington when he got upper 30s in
yeah,
3 games. Only difference was the free throw attempts were up. He had
yeah,
18 and one. He was making the 3 pointers he was shooting. So you got to like the volume there. The usage is always going to be there for a guy like DeRozan who shoots so much.
yeah.
Just think there's way more upside there, and I think that's definitely going to be an optimal pick. For the rebounding category, we'll have Valanciunas, Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Tristan Thompson. Do you like the centers or do you like LeBron?
Yeah, so I'm really the one guy I'm kind of excluding here is Tristan Thompson. He plays well when he gets the minutes, but last game he didn't play a ton, and he didn't produce as well as he had the games before that when he had double doubles. Yeah, he definitely has 10, 15 rebound upside, but that's when he's getting 25 to 35 minutes. I don't know if he gets I don't know if he gets around that. I think he's looking at maybe 15 to 20 tonight. I really like Valanciunas here. He had a monster game the first game, had 21 points, 21 rebounds, or something like that, and then last game he had 12 rebounds as well. So he's had double digit rebounds in each game. He's the one guy that could get rebounds consistently for that team, even in somewhat reduced minutes. However, this series he's been playing around 30 minutes a game, so I really like his upside. Getting 30 minutes earlier in the year, he hadn't been playing more than 25 or so. So I think his upside's just massive. And then you got Kevin Love and LeBron James. Both of them are great players in themselves, but LeBron, I don't know if he has the 15 to 20 rebound upside on a every night basis that Valanciunas does. And then Kevin Love, he's solid for 12 to 14 rebounds or so, but I think Valanciunas is too, and he just has way more upside. So I'm going with Valanciunas here.
I like the call. And one thing I think Dwayne Casey really noticed that he didn't really notice during the regular season is that his big man is good. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
Valanciunas, their 2 losses to the Wizards, he played 23 minutes and 15 minutes. And their last 2 wins, he played 33 and 31. First game against the Cavs was a 1 point game. He played 35. Last game they lost by 18. He played 26. I think there's definitely a little correlation there. I think Dwayne Casey is going to notice that he needs to rely on his big man if they want a chance in this series. And I think we got to like the upsides. We saw what he could do the first game, and I think he's going to have another chance to do it today. For most three-pointers, always a really tough category. We have Kyle Lowry, J.R. Smith, C.J. Miles, and LeBron James. Anyone have an edge?
Yeah, to me, I'm really looking at Kyle Lowry here. He had a great 3-point percentage in the regular season, and he's been shooting the ball pretty well in the postseason. For me, for this category, I really like just looking at the guys who command a higher usage in their team and just are bigger role players or have a higher role in their team. Between JR and CJ Miles, I really just don't see it. CJ Miles doesn't play more than 20 minutes or so per game. And though he can get hot and reel off a bunch of threes, I think Lowry has just as high upside and probably a better floor just because he'll play 35 minutes tonight and he'll just get more shots overall. And then we go to JR. He's a solid 3-point shooter. He can catch fire as can CJ Miles, but I really just, even though he's playing a ton of minutes, I don't like taking anybody on LeBron's team. Just LeBron has a massive usage rate, and he's going to take tons of shots. So I really don't love JR in this category. And then with LeBron, he to me is similar to Lowry in this aspect, but Lowry is just a better 3-point shooter overall. Probably the one thing Lowry has over LeBron. LeBron, he's been shooting the ball pretty well. Lately, he put up a massive massive numbers in game one, and a very solid stat line last game as well. I guess it was switched. He hit a monster game last game, but I really just I think Lowry's been playing very solid. He's been playing good amount of minutes, and even though LeBron has had 43 and 26 points in the last two games, he's only made 1 3-pointer in each. So for me, Lowry just has the highest floor, the highest upside. I think he can get 3 to 4 threes tonight. He's made 3 in the first two games. So yeah, for me, I'm rolling with Lowry here.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree again. Shocker right there. The one thing I really liked is I just it's the usage, and he's the only one who's attempted at least 6 3-pointers in every game. He did attempt only 4 in the first game in Washington, but other than that, I mean that's 6 every single game. Gotta like the chances there to outscore everyone. Everyone else's numbers all over the place. And for going optimal, I think you just want the most attempts, and Lowry's gonna get you that. For the assist category, we have kind of interesting choices between DeRozan, George Hill, DeLon Wright, and Kevin Love. Is there really anything you like here?
Yeah, for me, when we usually have these assist categories with DeMar DeRozan in them, I really never like taking DeRozan, but for me, he's gonna play. Him and Kevin Love are gonna play the most, and Kevin Love's a big man. He's gonna get points and rebounds, but his assist numbers aren't anything great to look at. So for me, kind of a weird pick, but I really like DeRozan here. Outside of Love, you have George Hill and DeLon Wright. So both of them are point guards. They'll have the ball in their hands when they're on the court, but we can't really rely on them to get a ton of assists, especially when Lowry and DeRozan are going to be handling the ball for Toronto, and LeBron's going to have the ball in his hand all the time for Cleveland. So for me, I think DeRozan has the best chance to win this category. Even though the numbers aren't going to be super high, there's really just no one else that I want to pick on here. So for me, I'm going with DeRozan in this category.
Yeah, I like the call there. He's had at least 3 in every single playoff game. He's seen games of 4, 5, and 6. The other guys really, the minutes aren't there like DeRozan's. For a guy like DeLon Wright, he got 4 last game, which would have won the category, but he got split time with Fred VanVleet. That game turned into a blowout. He got some extra minutes. Not really sure we expect this game to be a blowout. I definitely think Toronto, if they don't win, have a bounce back game. So I think DeRozan's going to be your guy there, just the most consistent. And that'll jump us into the points category where we have Kevin Love. Are you interested in a single bullet, or do you have a range you like?
Yeah, this one's going to be super tough. If you're just looking at the first two games of this series, he had 7 points in the first game, and he had 31 in the second. So he's far from consistent. In the games before that, he had 14, and then 7, then 11, 5, and then 19. So really, he hasn't put up similar numbers in 2 straight games at all. which makes it really tough to predict him. He hasn't been having a great playoffs really at all. His rebound numbers are fine, but he just hasn't been shooting the ball well. He gets 10 to 15 attempts in the playoffs, and then last game he just had 21, which nobody really expected that. So for me, I'm definitely looking at a range. I don't think you can confidently predict one point outcome. I'm looking at maybe 14 to 18 or so. I'm looking at 16 to 17 is kind of my average projection. But yeah, I'm looking somewhere in there. I think he finally shot the ball better last game. He shot just over 50%. So I think if we kind of merge his that 50-ish percent shooting with the 10 to 15 attempts, I think you're looking at mid-teens scoring. So that's why I'm kind of going 16 to 17 is my average projection.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about his last game for a second.
Yeah.
31 points, 35 minutes. How about the 35% usage? He's the game before that 20%. The game before that 20%. Really the last 8-9 games, you're looking at 20%, and then randomly he gets 35% usage. A little bit of that might have been due to Tristan Thompson not getting many minutes. Maybe the Cavs found something, or it could be that Love shot over 20%, over 50% from the field and hit 6 of and got to the free throw line. I mean, he did a little bit of everything. I don't think we should jump to overproject him again because shooting over 50% at his position, especially shooting from the 3-point line so much, is pretty difficult. 35% usage probably unsustainable for him. But again, we got to see what the Cavs do today. Completely different game we're looking at. I kind of like the high teens projection at Preston had. Might throw him in the low 20s, 2021, but I think that game is really an outlier, and until we see 3 or 4 of those, I don't think we can put Kevin Love in the mid to upper 20s at all. And the last guy we'll have is not easy by any means in LeBron James. The usage is going to be there. The shot attempts are going to be there. Expect a close game. He can get high 20s, low 40s. He's been basically all that in the playoffs. What are you leaning towards?
Yeah, this one's tough. Like the Kevin Love pick is, it's a very similar, just on a much higher scale to the fact that he hasn't been consistent scoring wise. He's had 43, 26, 45, 22, 44, 32 in his last 6 games. So yeah, there's really no telling if he's gonna go score 40 plus or if he's gonna score in the mid 20s and get pretty close to a triple double. So yeah, I'm probably looking at low 30s here. I think having a 2-0 lead, I don't think LeBron's going to try to take over as much. I think if for some reason they go up big, or if Toronto goes up big and the Cavs are down, I think LeBron may kind of coast a little bit, knowing they have a 2-0 lead. They're at home. They have home court advantage. Stole that from Toronto. So I don't really want to project him around 40 tonight, but I also think he's going to play well, play probably better at home just overall, and I think that'll translate to fantasy wise. So yeah, I'm probably looking at maybe 32 to 34 range for points, but like you said, it's so hard to project these guys in a range of 5 points just because the outcomes are so large.
Yeah, I like the idea of not overdoing it. I don't really see too much of a reason to. Maybe not push him as much. He might get a little extra rest than he's been getting, just for that reason. It's their home court advantage now. Yeah, I mean, I think the low 30s is perfectly fine. 31 to 34, 32, 35, whatever. I give him a floor of, say, 28, 29, just in case. I wouldn't underproject him there unless you're feeling really bold. But yeah, that'll cover it for the $2 progressive jackpot. We hope you enjoy watching the Sixers Boston game. That one should be interesting. And hope you guys can enjoy watching the late game as well and take this slate down. But good luck, and we will see you next time.